Impact Radio Network, the leading voice in gospel music and talk.
Praying for prosperity, money with regularity, hustle giving me clarity, but prison dreams are scaring me. My homies rolling papers while others committing capers. We suffer policemen haters, but they the ones that made us. Facing 5 to 10 out on the corner with my friends, give strangers a 5. Yo, the action never ends, beefing with muscle, tussle till we struggle. It's on till someone pull the trigger. Not everyone is gone, some say we wrong, but it's the way we get along. This life making us strong, we know that we don't belong. Need our money long, use heat to raise dough, making bread until the feds come and kick down the door. Going hard until it ends and we 6 feet deep. Another 2 and out of 8 and we don't have grief. Doing what we gotta do to survive in these streets. Some say they cry, tatted tears show they weep. Looking out my window, these the things that I see. Born in Detroit City, this home for me, baby. Looking out my window, these the things that I see. We praying for survival, churches having revivals. Looking out my window, these the things that I see. Born in Detroit City, this home for me, baby. Looking out my window, these the things that I see. We praying for survival, churches having revival. Child of the Father, I'm forgiven by blood, in prison with us. Talk about what they once was. Hustlers and pimps, walk with a limp. Code 45, work every time. Back cover cannons, they sip. Bloods and Crips on the blocks, fellas flipping, they said. When the Black Panthers left, someone had to protect. They was fam till the drugs came in and played a portion. Money, yeah, and extortion, too deep in the bins. Counting ends as they spend it, give up the dough. Anything they want, fam, get on the floor. Some will stick up kids and other dudes move weight. Cash out the muscle, working out with no breaks. One thug, one rags, bringing tags on the walls. When Martin Luther died, we was ready to brawl. Detroit in 67, 43 died, thousands arrested. Right now, trust me, the whole world's restless. Looking out my window, these the things that I see. Born in Detroit City, it's home for me, baby. Looking out my window, these the things that I see. We praying for survival, churches having revival. Looking out my window, these the things that I see. Born in Detroit City, it's home for me, baby. Looking out my window, these the things that I see. We praying for survival, churches having revival. Long street lights, rats stay hidden and out of sight. They only come out for cheese, yell freeze on summer nights. Grown women.
Welcome back to the Lois Banks Show. I'm your host, Lois Banks, and that was Booker Snow with his new CD. He's going to talk to you a little bit later about where you can purchase that CD in the radio audience today. We have Booker Snow. We also have, as a co-host, Dr. James Young Jr. He's my professor at the University of Phoenix. I'm so excited that he was able to grace us with his presence. Dr. Young, thank you for coming to the Lois Banks Show.
You are very welcome. I'm delighted to be here, and I appreciate the invitation.
Oh, just watch out, everybody. He has a lot of information for you, and he's going to be a lot of fun this evening. I also have Prophetess Helen Peterson, woman of God. How are you?
I'm wonderful, woman of God. How are you?
I'm fine. Well, you know, I always start off the radio program always sharing an encouraging message. You know, I love the Lord with all my heart, and I say that every week. And I want to give a special condolence to the Horton family in Columbus, Ohio. I went to a memorial over the weekend, prepared for it Saturday, was there Sunday. It's only a 3.5-hour trip, and Columbus, Ohio is my birth place. That's where I was born and raised. And but the beautiful thing about it is I'm so connected with this particular family, and you know I stand in the office of a prophet and I have prophetic dreams. And while I was asleep about a week ago, as I came out of my sleep, the Lord gave me a prophetic dream about a family in Ohio, the Horton family, that someone in the house was getting ready to, pass away. He was preparing my heart. I reached out to one of their family members to get in contact with their loved ones to make sure everybody was okay. And within a week's period of time, a particular loved one did pass away. And so, you know, while I was dreaming of the family and God was preparing my heart, the family was dreaming of me. And they told me exactly what was in the dream, how God prepared their heart for their loved one to pass away. So, you know, we serve a really, really good God, and he prepares our hearts for things that are going to take place in our life. And it was so amazing just to watch the family walk in peace because God had prepared their heart. My heart was prepared as well, and I also walked in peace. And it was just a blessing to share that connection with that family. So now I'm going to turn the interview over to Mr. Booker Snow. Mr. Booker Snow, thank you for coming to the Lois Banks Show.
Appreciate you having me.
All right. I met you during the summertime, and was very excited about listening to your music and learning more about your ministry. I recently was able to listen to one of your songs, and we just played that song over the radio. Now, can you share with the listening audience what your life looked like before you accepted Christ, and then what it looks like now?
My life before I accepted Christ, I guess it was kind of like it wasn't as bad as like a lot of people, like their testimonies. Mine was like, I guess because it was kind of hidden from me. Like my mother she never let me really see how bad it was, and then I was blessed with the man in my life, Gerard Kenyatta. He stepped into my life when I was real young. I was about maybe 4.
Okay.
And this man took care of me from beginning to end, and he literally like took care of me. He paid for me to go to college. So I mean, and he's had my back all the way till now, and I'm 33, and to be 30 years, making sure that somebody else's son is taken care of and raised, the better than he was.
Okay.
That means a lot. So I mean, nothing was ever perfect. It had its ups and downs. I've seen my mother go through some really, really harsh things. But,
okay.
I've never, my parents did a good job of really hiding and shadowing things from me. So
how did they keep you from the streets, or getting out there in the world and making a lot of bad decisions?
That was the thing, they didn't. My dad, he kind of threw me out there a little bit, but he kind of had a rope tied around me, and he could yank me back in. But he didn't hide me from anything. He prepared me to where I wouldn't go out there and get off in nothing too stupid. Like I've had friends that, they ran dope houses. I've walked in the house and see a lady sitting at a table smoking a crack pipe.
Wow. And how old were you when you saw that?
I was about 13.
Wow, that's pretty young.
So I mean, but it wasn't anything new. I've seen it before.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, it's like I was never like, God he never like hid me too far away from the stuff. He just blessed me to where I had people around me that didn't let me get involved. Like I had a friend of mine literally kicked me out his house because they was in street stuff, and he told me I couldn't come back, gave me a hug, told me he loved me last time I saw him.
Okay.
So, but I've always had, between my family and friends, like they just didn't allow me to get into stupid stuff. Like I don't know why God put it on their heart to keep me safe and to make sure I was always protected, but they did.
That's his protection. Now, when I was growing up, when my parents did teach me, right from wrong, if I was getting ready to do something that was wrong, my conscience would tell me I was going the wrong way. When you were around certain elements, did you feel it inside that you were going the wrong way, or did you override it? What did you do?
I get that now, but most of the time I just kind of did what I was gonna do.
Okay.
I mean, even now, I have no idea why my wife is with me. This woman is crazy for being with me.
Why you say that?
But I always say, she's the gifts I don't deserve, because literally she keeps me out of trouble.
Really?
I know that God sees everything that I does. That I do, but the thing is, it's like he still put somebody in front of me
to keep you in check,
to like be his eyes on me. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like she, even when she's not looking, I'm like, what would she say if she was here?
Okay.
So like if any of my boys listening, don't ask me to go to no bar, strip club, so on and so on. It's just, I always wonder, like, what would she do? What would she say? And what would she do if she saw me?
Right.
So like, it just keeps me out of trouble. And I know that, whatever, like I said, I know God sees everything, period. But he put a closer set of eyes on me to keep me out of trouble. She's the only person that can even hurt my feelings.
Okay, so now how did you get involved in the music industry?
That's crazy too. I started doing music about 10 years ago, and it was terrible because I didn't know what I was talking about. I was just kind of like making sure stuff rhymed and hope that it was catchy enough for people to listen.
Okay. So you didn't really have a story?
Nope. I didn't curse or nothing though, but I didn't have a story. It was just like I walked to school, got my shoes. I didn't, as long as it rhymed and somebody was like, "Oh, he said he got shoes." I was excited, like, yo, they like my shoes line. So, but as I got a little older, started realizing whose story I was supposed to be telling. It's not all my story. you know, I'm not around all these people for no reason. Some of these people don't have a voice, so their voice only go but so far. So like with the song Window, that's not just my story. I sat with my grandfather, my uncles, my father-in-law. That's all information. I don't know nothing about the riots, but what they've taught me, they were there. You know, my real dad, his brother was shot during the riots. They educated me on all that stuff. You know, they the ones that sat in jail, had conversations with other dudes talking about, yo, when I get out, da-da-da-da, you know, and these are the guys that teach me this stuff. The men and the women that came before me, even the young men and women that are after me, they teach me this stuff. This is all their stories mixed with my own.
Okay. So, you eventually came to a place where, okay, you were coming up with some pretty great lyrics. How did the doors open up for you to get back into the music industry and produce some good sound?
Everything has literally been given to me.
Okay.
I tried to go back into doing basketball. I was doing semi-pro for a little while,
Which
playing
team?
for the Detroit Hoops, and then actually I'm playing for them now again. Go figure. But I was getting ready to go to St. Louis to play for the Development League, and then I was supposed to be leaving for Lebanon, and I ended up dislocating my foot while doing the workout. Okay. And that ended everything. But the thing was, I heard the Spirit of God 3 times, clear as day, tell me to go home. And I was hard-headed and kept trying to play and got hurt, like mended into it.
Okay.
And the thing is, though, is that I wasn't supposed to still be chasing that basketball dream. The basketball dream was supposed to have been hung up about 5 years prior because he had me working on the music. I just hated my stuff so much that it got frustrating instead of realizing that I had to practice at it.
Okay.
Practice I had to work at it.
Yeah,
it's just, he gives you the gift, but you got to exercise it.
Exactly.
And I wasn't exercising. I was just assuming for it to just pop in and I was going to be great and everybody was going to hear it and love it. So, he basically, I tried to keep running in a certain direction. He basically grabbed that foot and went pop. Okay. Now you can't run.
Okay. Well, we know that the Lord didn't hurt the foot, but he was trying to get your attention to go the right way.
Oh yeah, I hurt my own foot by being hard-headed, but he got my attention because I sure enough had to sit down.
Yeah, we serve a good guy.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Professor.
So you have an incredible story. I happen to be one of those individuals that was around during the riots. Wow. And it was an incredible experience. That whole time period in our young lives was very interesting because I was fortunate enough, or unfortunate enough, depending, to travel to the South during almost the heyday of problems. And so to see those kind of problems, those racial problems in the South, and then see them manifest themselves in the North, the way that they eventually came about, was very eye-opening. And to, like, your uncles and your loved ones shared with you that people start exhibiting behaviors that you would never think they would exhibit. Yes. That was pretty common. I mean, you saw people with weapons you thought you'd never see. You saw people, going into stores and taking things that you thought you'd never see. I remember sitting on my front porch watching the militia come down the street
I was going to say, my father-in-law told me about, he never thought he'll see a tank. But he said a tank literally rolled down the street, and he's a kid watching a tank roll down the street.
Yes, and what struck me as a kid was the fact that you had military personnel of all colors, all ages. They all had their weapons, and I was just amazed at how stoic they were. I mean, they were just all businesslike. And you look at a young black person's face, and you want to go, "Hi, how you doing?" And I mean, they just would not break that persona. They were just all business, and I actually did see them assault a dwelling because there was someone in there who had obviously done something to them. So it's good that you're capturing that and that you're putting it into a musical form and a lyrical form that shares those expressions that were shared with you, and kind of fast forward it to today so that young people like yourself can get some sense of what it was like back then.
He's an old soul. That's what I see in him. I mean, an old soul. And God has kept him in all of his ways. And I was listening to him as he talked about his life story, and I could see where God has kept him hidden and allowed him to go through so much in life so he could be a living testimony. But I was looking at also the fact that when he said he got hurt, and yes, like you clarified, Prophetess Lois, that God didn't do it, but see, the enemy came in to steal you, to kill you, and to destroy you. But the fact of the matter is God still kept you. Yes. And ain't you lovely? Ain't it lovely that God will even send an enhancer, a woman of God who will keep you and be a blessing for you?
Yes.
See, that just shows you that God is still doing things. He's still moving in the right way for you.
Yeah, because I was depressed. I couldn't walk for 4 months.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. You know, and then I couldn't take the pain pills because they made me sick.
And even so, you're still a living testimony.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm.
So to have, like, she the one that, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be doing nothing now.
Amen.
Like, honestly, I would have probably just gave up and called it a day.
Wow.
You know, and I know that's not like a huge thing to most people, but like, I don't know this like not to walk. You know, yes. I do now, but you know, then it's like, okay, I couldn't work. I didn't have a check coming in. I couldn't get unemployment. I still had, you know, child support responsibilities. I still had to go get my other 2 daughters. So, because I got 4 girls, you know.
Okay.
What do I do?
Yes.
You know, my wife was doing beauty school and working full time. So, like, literally, like, when I got hurt, I wasn't a man anymore to me.
Okay. But God supplied your needs, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. Like, we to this day still don't know how. Like, we look up and certain bills was just clear. And it's like, I don't remember overpaying this. Like, did you? I don't know. You know, and it was just like, you know, refrigerator hasn't been emptied.
Yes.
Car had gas when necessary, so I mean everything just still went the way it was supposed to go.
Yes, well, you know, I could remember before I became a nurse and I was a single mother, I went through some challenging times, and I can remember when the Lord actually told me to get up and go to my bank account and withdraw some money, and I knew I didn't have that dollar amount that he told me to take out. You know, God is still talking to his people today. You know, people are not crazy. God is still talking to his people. And I went to the ATM machine, took out, you know, the dollar amount that the Lord told me to take out, and the computer said, okay, you've reached your limit for the day. I got out of line. I was getting ready to get back into my vehicle, and the Lord told me to go back in line and take out some more money. I don't know where that money was coming from. I got back in line, took out some more money, went to the mall just to purchase some clothing for my children, because I always did everything by faith, and I still to this day do everything by faith. I could have the money available, but I'm always exercising my faith in the Lord, keeping that faith active, and asking him for things that I don't even have, that I know I don't presently have, like the finances or the money to get at that moment, but to just keep my faith activated, knowing that I'm connected to him. So I passed another ATM machine, and the Lord told me to take out some more money. I bought the clothing that I asked the Lord for. Then the Lord said, okay, now go treat yourself, take yourself out and get something to eat. And I was trying to figure out, okay, if I spend the rest of this money that I have in my hand, how am I going to pay some money on some bills?
Right.
But I went ahead and, you know, I did it. I wish you could have seen my face, because I was trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. I'm trying to eat this food by faith, swallow it by faith, and figure out, you know, how I'm going to do everything. So I just said, okay, you know what, I'm going to walk in peace in this area. I went and to pay some bills with the rest of the money that was left in my hand, and when the man ran my name through the computer system, he said, "No, you're paid in full." I said, "Okay, can you recheck that again? Because I know I didn't pay anything on that bill." They ran my name again, and it said it was paid in full. And as soon as I walked out the door, I heard God say, "Now you give me tithes and offerings off that money I just gave you."
Ain't that
So, you know, we're living in a time now where you have to trust God and believe him and know that he is your supplier. You know, you don't trust people. And a lot of people can't trust their jobs now, because a lot of jobs are folding up, and you know, and people are losing their jobs. So corporations are folding. So, you know, I just want to encourage the listeners out there. You know, you have to learn how to trust God for yourself.
I think the main thing in all of that is that not only faith, but you're obedient.
Yes.
You know, if I haven't learned anything else through this whole walk, it's that, you know, obedience. that's the best route to take at all times.
See what's happening now? He's giving God the glory, the honor, and the praise. And like I said earlier on, that when you got hurt, he still gets that glory because you are a living testimony and an example for others to do the right thing, to see and hear what thus says the Lord and be obedient. And to this day, God is still getting that glory.
Oh yeah, I ain't got nothing else. I'll be honestly, it's nothing else. Like,
yes.
you know.
So you know that God is a supplier, and He's also a healer. Now you know He's a healer.
Oh yeah.
He's a supplier of your every need. Now talk a little bit about your family, because you know you and I are Facebook friends, and I read your postings, and I see the postings that you write regarding your famthey. And it's just so beautiful. Talk a little bit about your children. Yes,
those my little dudes. I love. I know they girls, but those my little dudes. Like I have a 14-year-old, 12-year-old, soon to be 8-year-old, and a 6-year-old.
Okay.
And they each play their own role in my life. My 14-year-old and my 8-year-old, those are my two little geniuses. Like my 14-year-old's like a musical genius. You can give her any instrument and she can play it by ear.
Wow. Okay.
I went and got my dad gave me his 76 Fendi bass guitar. She plays electric guitar. He gave me his keyboard. She walked in the room. She playing an Alicia Keys song that she just picked up by ear.
Right.
I mean, my 8-year-old speaks Japanese. My 8-year-old speaks Japanese. My 12-year-old, my 6-year-old are my artists.
Okay.
They see the world in a completely different color.
Yes.
You know, and they take after their dad because none of them go trick or treating. They don't care about Christmas gifts.
Really? No, that is a miracle.
They don't even sweat it. Don't even sweat it.
That's a miracle.
Don't even sweat it.
How did you do that?
Well, I got unfortunately I got an ex-wife, but we just got married too young. You know, we eventually, you know.
No, I'm saying, how did you get the children not to want Christmas gifts?
Good support.
Okay.
Good support. Like, my younger ones, of course, they're like, can we have, but my older two don't sweat it.
Okay, they understand.
Yeah, they get what they earn.
Right.
You know, and every now and then, of course, as a kid, you know, we give them stuff that they really don't deserve. But they're kids. Why not? You know, you only gonna get it once.
Exactly.
You know, but they good kids. I don't have bad children. So
where can the listeners purchase your CD?
Well, right now, I have a couple free songs that they can download. They can go to my website and the link is on there. It's www.bookersnow.com.
Okay.
And then I have a video for the first song, Window. That's on YouTube. If you watch it, you got to watch it in full high definition. It's not the same if you don't, because my director, him and his guy, Rome and Chris, they were Triple Strike Media. It was weird because they made it snow in the video. You know, we were doing this in the spring. You know, and then my name is in ice and all this other crazy stuff, you know.
Right.
But they paint a beautiful picture of Detroit overall, and you know.
Well, it was certainly a blessing having you on the Lois Banks Show. I want you to sit tight because I want to ask Professor or Dr. Young a couple questions about the Affordable Health Care Act. You are very, very knowledgeable, Professor Young, and I just want you to break down in 3 to 4 minutes the value of the Affordable Health Care Act and what the American public can expect.
Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about it. And actually, the Affordable Health Care Act is an act that was put into law to change the healthcare system from truly a sick care system to a healthcare system.
Yes.
And what it does is it takes the emphasis off of treating people who are sick to treat people well.
Amen.
And I know, Prophet, that's a big area for you.
Yes.
That you are very interested in demonstrating yourself and also encouraging people to live healthy lifestyles.
Yes.
And to eat appropriately, exercise, and more importantly, stay spiritually grounded.
Yes.
And so the Affordable Care Act, which President Obama doesn't get a whole lot of credit for, is one that says, you know, we are ranked third in the nation in terms of costs and 47th in quality. And in order to change that, you have to put money and emphasis and policies in place to change that behavior. So on the organizational side, there are things in the Affordable Care Act that require insurance companies, for example, to spend more money on health care rather than advertising and marketing. The $70 billion that were allocated to community health centers will go into early detection, prevention, and actually improving overall holistic care.
Yes.
To those who are poor, underserved, and uninsured. And the other thing is that there are more dollars now to promote primary care physicians than ever before, and to also, for once and for all, level the playing field between the reimbursements that the government gives for people who either are on Medicare or Medicaid.
Yes.
The Affordable Care Act increases the reimbursements for Medicaid, the people who are usually poor and underserved, so that it's somewhat equal to Medicare.
Yes.
So in a nutshell, the Act makes the healthcare system change its behavior so that more emphasis is put on early detection, prevention, and less money is put on high-tech, high-cost
Yes.
procedures
Yes.
that a lot of times come about as a result of people not being able to get health care early on.
Yes.
Before they become very, very sick.
Yes, and you know, I'm very, very grateful to President Obama and his stance on changing the healthcare system. As a licensed nurse here in the state of Michigan, I've been asked to do immoral things for healthcare organizations to, you know, skirt around the laws of Medicare and Medicaid so that the organization can receive payment. There's a lot of fraudulent acts taking place in the healthcare system, and because, you know, I love the Lord, I'm always saying no to these immoral behaviors. In the Affordable Health Care Act will make the healthcare system and the providers responsible, and they have to actually care about the American public. And I learned that through your teachings, Dr. Young, in your classroom setting. And I thank you so much for breaking that information down to me.
Thank you. Yes, it's you know, it gets politicized, but at the end of the day, it is the most common sense approach to healthcare ever in the history of this country, where you now have a healthcare system that is really designed to keep people healthy, as opposed to billions and billions of dollars being spent on people just getting a lot of procedures and treatment.
Yes.
And so you'll see more and more as it comes out, and you know, quite frankly, the savings in the healthcare system will be realized by having more prevention, early detection, and for those people of color who are more susceptible to these chronic diseases from different things in life circumstances, this will benefit that segment of the population tremendously.
Amen. Where can people contact you in case they want you to come and consult with their healthcare organization or do any kind of public speaking?
My website is www.concordanthealth, and that's CONCORD as in David, ANT, health.com. And my email address is jyoung@concordanthealth.com. If you go to my website, you will find a host of different articles and information that will hopefully help you better understand some of the things that are occurring in healthcare and how to take advantage of them as consumers and as providers.
Amen. And I want to thank Booker Snow and Dr. James Young Jr. for coming to the Lois Banks Show. I appreciate both of you so much. I also want to thank Livonia Perryman. She is the PR representative for Donna Brazil. We wanted to have Donna Brazil on tonight, but her schedule wasn't able to, it conflicted with our radio schedule, but we will have her on at a later date. I want to thank Carlton Lockhart, my account manager, as well. And Prophetess Helen, you're such a blessing.
Amen, God.
All right. Come back to the Lois Banks Show next week. Have a good week, everybody. And go out and vote.